Welcome to the Aspire project. My name is Heath Monaghan and we're here on what was the worshipping site of Holy Trinity Church in Dover Street in Ryde. And we're here to look at and to explore how we can think outside of the box, how we can be quite entrepreneurial with a vision to put this building, transform this building, save it for its community and put it right back at the heart of its community. This is the new office for Aspire, which is the heart of the project, which is a reception area, and it's this place and space where everyone comes to get the first insight of what's going to happen here on site. And then down the corridor here, we've got an area that we've refurbished. This area used to be the area that the choirs here at Holy Trinity Church used to come and get robed up and ready to get dressed and go into their Sunday services. We've now given it a lick of paint and made it bright and airy and created a great space with 4 desk spaces that we rent out to different charities, organisations, entrepreneurs, business people, whoever really needs to rent a desk, whether they want to buy it a day, a week, a month, a year. We've a couple of organisations that have already signed up and they're here permanently because they love that the whole ethos of what's happening here. So it's a great space to share. This is the first room that we refurbished with the help of the community. A team of volunteers came in and transformed this room over a period of a weekend. So this is our community room, which we hire out to a whole list of users, from French language courses, numerous play groups, arts and craft groups. We've got Pilates just about to start and a whole host of other things. Very well used for children's birthday parties. This is one of our many meeting rooms here at Aspire. So we've got an area which is a soft meeting area and then a board table area as well. And these can be hired out by any groups, any businesses, and we even have a couple of organisations that are starting to come in and look at doing therapy in here as well. Welcome to the Undercroft. This is the original crypt underneath the building. Someone came up with the idea of transforming it into a pop-up restaurant as a fundraiser for the building project here. And we did it. We pulled it off. What we do is it's used for several different things, for pop-up restaurants, for functions. We even, in this chamber behind me, have a band that come in every week and use it as a brilliant rehearsal space, and it doesn't cause any noise disturbance for the neighbours because the walls are so thick. This is where the band rehearses. And they use this space for recording as well because the acoustics are so perfect for that. However, this all gets packed away when it becomes a pop-up restaurant, and what we've got is the whole area, which we'll see in a few moments, where we can seat up to 50 people at tables for waitress serves, fine dining events, or it can be used for in fact, next weekend we have a 40th birthday party. Come to use this space. This area of the church is quite an amazing space to come along and find that this church building already had a bowling alley underneath it. So in its day it's been thriving with young people here, and the structure's already here. So we are going to refurbish this and we'll sand it down and we'll get it open again and running for what great space to use for children's birthday parties. This space is the same as the community hall on the opposite side of the building. However, as you can probably see, it needs some extensive building work undertaken here. However, our vision for this is it has its own front door, a across on this side, and an amazing patio space on that side. So we want to reuse some of the pews from the church upstairs to line the walls and make it into a community cafe. And we feel that it'll have a great following from an artistic community. They can display their works on the walls. There can still be a Christian element here with Christian literature and second-hand Christian books for people to take away. And hopefully some of the other churches in Ryde can come and make use of this space to run their Alpha or Emmaus course or a marriage preparation course. And a whole host of other community groups can make great use of this space. We've got 5 distinct areas around the building that wrap right around the building. 2 areas at the front of the building, which one of them is a garden of rest, which we're going to make a really nice, pretty area for people to be able to relax. It gets the afternoon sun, which is a great space. And then right around the back here, we've got 3 distinct areas. One which will serve the community hall as a children's and families play area, which will be a safe area that can freely flow between the 2 rooms. And a strip at the back of the land that we hope to bring a project on site to grow their own vegetables. And then the final area, which is attached to the coffee shop at the other side of the building, which will hopefully have an outdoor seating area. This really is going to be the heart of the operation here at Aspire. It's going to be the thing, I think, that draws everyone together. In here, where it used to be a huge worshipping space, a big barn of a building, what better than to have it full of life, full of fun and fun and laughter. So what we're going to look at do is all of this side of the church will be seating area for parents, which also means that we won't have to demolish any of the tiles, any of the historic fabric of the building. All the stained glass and all the memorials can all stay in place. So this is just seating area, but it means it can be a multi-purpose area for people to sit. We can still do concerts and all kinds of different things. Worship can still take place here. And behind me, from this pillar, right to the very back wall, right across to the other side of the church, we envisage a huge floor-to-ceiling children's play area, balls and slides and scramble nets and the like, so your children can go in there and have hours and hours of fun and activity. Up above us, we want to make use of some of the rafters and to be able to harness children and young people up in a safe fashion and get them to go up there and climb along scramble nets and greasy poles and the likes, and have a high ropes development course. And then over in this side here, we're going to take down this partition and use what was once the south transept as a huge, vast indoor climbing centre. And again, which part of our vision here is that we can deal with children from babies all the way through to their teenage, right through into their adult years. That way they can come here and they'll find some kind of activity. This space will be our rock climbing centre. So this huge, vast wall here, we can see a vision there of having lots of different rock holes and climbing ropes and belay points for children and adults to climb. Again on this wall and this wall here behind me. And here where I stand, a huge vast boulder so children can come and climb and get fit and learn to have some active fun. This side of the project is probably about at least 2 years away. We still have planning process and funding issues to tackle, but we're just really faithful that this is happening. It's started to happen downstairs and it's taking off at such a speed that it's shocking and amazing. It's great fun. This project was started with £1,000 and we decided that we were going to be quite innovative in how it was funded. So we have started with the community hall. That now brings in a revenue. Every month we now invoice out around about £1,000 to be able to pay for the next part and the next part of the project. And as we discussed earlier, things like pop-up restaurants that then bring in again some extra funding to be able to do the next part of the project. So we're moving on at quite a pace, and most of the works on site are done by volunteers, and indeed most of the resources that come on site are given by the general public. There are some major building needs on this site, so of course we will be looking at writing funding bids and chasing after grants to be able to make sure that this building can sustain itself for the future. Part of the operation is that the upstairs is very much a corporate entity with the leisure and the play facilities, and we hope to be able to generate sufficient income to be able to pay for the operation of the downstairs of the building as a community centre and a community focus. But from the surpluses that we envisage seeing in the future, we hope for the profits of that to be able to go out and be able to do more community works and indeed more Christian works in the community as well. There is an option if you have a particular skill or feel a desire to want to come and help us here at the Aspire project. Come along and speak to one of us on site. We are here Monday to Friday, 9 till 5 at the very least, and very much more outside of those hours. And we have plumbers and electricians and people who decorate, people who just make cups of tea and help to love the volunteers, which is great and essential. So there's a whole host of work to be done here on site, and lots of opportunities. If you'd like to volunteer here on site, please telephone or email and speak to our volunteer coordinator, Julie.